On the Unstable SMP, everyone is guilty. I sat through nearly 200 hours of footage to answer one question: who is the guiltiest member of the Unstable SMP? Because I'm going over everything, this video will contain major spoilers for all 4 POVs, so be aware of that. And, without wasting any more time, this is every crime in the Unstable universe. First things first, obviously because of the sheer length of Unstable, I can't individually list every crime like I did with my last video on crime, because the video would be like 10 hours long. So this will be me explaining what I think are the highlights and explaining why certain things are the way they are. Starting off, we have Spoke. Spoke isn't as blatant of a criminal as someone like Flame or Wembu and Sensei's a mass murderer in Minecraft, of course. Okay, YouTube, just in Minecraft, we're talking about things done exclusively in Minecraft. But don't underestimate just how much chaos he causes in a series. Spoke uses literal tons of TNT throughout his episodes, often using stacks at a time just to get the job done. This will be important for every one of our protagonists, as a single piece of TNT in Minecraft fits the legal description of what's known as a weapon of mass destruction. Using even a single one of these will land you in prison for life, so using several stacks will ensure that you are never getting out. Spoke also sets himself apart very early on in the series by duping items with Jamato P. This in essence is flooding the market with items that should not exist, making them equivalent to counterfeit goods. Possessing these and distributing them can get you decades in prison and hundreds of thousands of dollars in fines. Alright, let's see what Spoke was up to next. Episode 7. Okay, so he stole 56 bone blocks. Wait, how much do bones cost? How much do skeletons cost? Okay! After some totally ethical research, I found that human skeleton can cost you about $7,250. Scaling this up for 56 cubic meters of bone, and we can determine that Spoke stole over $71.5 million of bones. Am I gonna get arrested for this? Sorry, what's that? He stole even more bones in the very next episode? How much? $184 million? What's this guy's deal with stealing bones? Spoke does get the award for most insignificant crime, surprisingly, by killing a fox, which got him a meager 60-day jail sentence and a $1,000 fine. Now comes something pretty significant. In episode 11, Spoke creates an army of 1,017 players, the Spoke Galactic Empire. The reason this matters is how he keeps them in check. Because Spoke uses them as free labor, and does so by means of threats and force, that is forced labor. Forced labor is very serious and can get you some pretty harsh sentences, so doing it to so many people does not end well for our boy Spoke.
One day, you're gonna look around, and you're gonna see you've made a mafia of your own. You're gonna see you're surrounded by sycophants and people who will do anything to please you, and all you care about is accruing more and more power and making that seem more strong, and you will realize that is exactly what I wanted to do.
Spoke is also the only one of the protagonists who blatantly tortured people, 3 to be exact, so I guess there's that. Moving on. Being stuck in purgatory also seemed to make things much worse for Spoke, with him racking up far more kills than usual, even to the hundreds by my count.
Weren't you trying to protect the server? Wasn't that your goal? I am protecting the server. I'm not protecting the server from Ashwag. I'm not protecting it from the Mafia. I'm protecting it from you. Because you never change. You pretend to have morals, then take advantage of those that you deem friends. You pretend that you're protecting us, but that family that you say you protect has been living in fear for the past year. Fear of you.
Moving on, we have Parrot. It won't come as a surprise to most of you, but Parrot tends to not do much comparatively. One thing that does set him apart from the others, though, is when he impersonated Wembu to reveal his identity. Because he wound up using that to trap Wembu and have both Theo and Flame fight him, that is what's known as impersonation in connection with a crime of violence. It's actually quite serious, landing you up to 20 years in prison for such an act. Like with Spoke though, Parrot is no stranger to TNT himself. He actually ends up using quite a lot early on in the series when trying to break into the prisons that Zam built. Parrot winds up building multiple TNT cannons in the process, which does numbers on his sentence. He even builds an orbital strike cannon of his own while trying to stop the wonders that Spoke had built from being destroyed. Later, he goes on to destroy his entire civilization now in the end after the Mafia took it over, without using up a heavy amount of TNT in the process. As one would expect, Parrot rarely gets any actual kills, instead opting to trap people and spare them instead, which does lessen the impact of a sentence compared to everyone else by quite a bit. What truly sets Parrot apart from everyone else, however, is something far larger. In episode 8, Parrot steals from Radoons, the richest player on the server. Most of Radoon's wealth comes from his stashes of diamonds, which Parrot takes essentially all of. This is an incredible amount of wealth, as I determined in my video about charging speedrunners for their crimes that a single diamond in Minecraft is worth over $100 billion due to the insane scale of the game, as well as the striking light blue color. This means that stealing even a single diamond would be the greatest heist in human history, but taking literal shulker boxes full of diamond blocks elevates that to amounts of money so large, no real-world amount of money even compares in the slightest. Ironic for someone who tends to give things to people for free to get them back on their feet. But let's not get ahead of ourselves, Parrot still has some good in him. In episode 29, where he spends 100 days as king of the Unstable SMP, Parrot became the only one of the 4 protagonists to go an entire episode without committing a single crime at all. No kills, no stealing, nothing at all. That apparently won't stop some people from hating him on the server though.
We're not selling you anything.
Why?
No, you're ruining the server. I'm not gonna help you. Nobody here likes you. Go find food somewhere else. We're not going to help you.
It seems like the Civil War really pushed him over the edge though, as that's where Parrot actually gets quite a few kills of his own, compared to before where he rarely got any. Next up is Wembu. It should come as no surprise that Wembu uses plenty of weapons of mass destruction in his series. This includes, by the legal definition and accounting for Minecraft logic, TNT, TNT minecarts, end crystals, TNT flying machines, and orbital strike cannons. To sum up how often he does this, I've prepared a little something. In addition to all that TNT, Wembu also has a tendency to eliminate any player who gets in his way, with him having racked up hundreds and even thousands of kills, with some of them being literal genocide. Lettuce also tends to bring out the worst in Wembu, with him taking part in destroying entire armies because of Lettuce. This gets him another charge for terrorism. This actually happens multiple different times, increasing his sentence even further. This is very serious, getting you the death penalty. Speaking of, during the speedrunner video, I decided that due to the Wither's nature, summoning one would be an equally similar offense to crimes like these, and Wembu summoned a lot of them in the series, which certainly is not helping his case. Rather unsurprisingly though, it is not just Lettuce who tends to cause Wembu to commit way more crimes on average. Flame Frags brings out almost everything Wembu has, with Wembu using 49 orbital strikes on Flame when he challenged him to see who was the strongest. This is exactly the same amount of orbitals that Wembu used on Lettuce's entire army of netherite players, which really just shows how intense their rivalry gets. Wembu also seems like he's on a mission to collect certain crimes like they're flipping Pokemon, as he is also one of the only people to get first, second, and third degree murder charges. A lot of people aren't even aware third degree exists, because some places don't even have that as a different crime. I will say, Lettuce actually did cut down on crime on the server, as when Wembu was in law custody, he barely committed any crimes at all. So take that as you will.
What's gonna happen now is, it's pretty self-explanatory, but you're getting locked away for a very long time.
Finally, we have Flame Frags. It should come as no surprise that Flame has a fair share of kills, likely the most out of anybody on the server. So he's about the same in that regard as Wembu, killing whoever he feels like at any given moment, especially when he seeks out specific players like Wembu or Mistral to fight. Although he doesn't have any orbital strike cannons, he makes up for it using TNT minecarts, which after his training with Theo became very common, increasing his sentence across the board. One of my favorite occurrences throughout the series was the fact that multiple people died, only to come back and get killed again like nothing happened. I counted at bare minimum 4 different people who died in the series, and then came back later on to get killed again. The best part, a player by the name of Fairwave48 was killed by Flame in episode 20, and then just reappeared and got killed by Flame again in the exact same fight. Flame does have something rather unexpected that sets him apart from everyone else though. In episode 31, he uses his dogs to fight the God of War's dogs, which actually starts a major dog fight, Because each time Flame uses his fishing rod to summon dogs, 100 appear. That means that he actually ended up having 200 of his dogs enter a dog fight, which is illegal and gets you a charge for every single violation. This makes something that could come off as not so significant actually quite intense due to the sheer number of dogs. I ran all the numbers and took account of every little crime I could find throughout every episode of Unstable, and I can confidently say that the guiltiest player on the Unstable SMP is... Spoke? But how? It was supposed to be Flame or Wembu, not him. After everything Flame and Wembu did, after all the players they killed, the explosives they rained down, it was Spoke? Okay. A bit unprecedented, but I'll go with it. Our final lineup looks like this. We have Spoke with 23,737.5 years and 60 days, 5,885 life sentences, 4 death penalties, and 561,979,576,947,469. Next up we have Wembu, which is more on track at least, with 7,564.5 years, 3,528 life sentences, 45 death penalties, and 99,431,503,023,512 Next up, we obviously have Parrot with 3,281 years, 3,445 life sentences, 7 death penalties, and 43 quadrillion, 51 trillion, 388 billion, 929 million, $883,283. No, that doesn't make any sense. This isn't right. First we have Spoke out of place, and now Parrot? And that means that Flame Frag is the most innocent, with 4,834 years, 1,166 life sentences, 6 death penalties, and $1,085,215,173,150. I can't believe it. It doesn't make any sense. I guess while I recover from the shock, I'll put some things into perspective. The major reason Spoke has such a high sentence is the Spoke Galactic Empire, which if you recall, he had the forced labor of 1,017 people in it. Forced labor such as this gets you a 20-year sentence, and when multiplied together, you get 20,340 years for just that alone. The life sentences come from the sheer amount of TNT used. In one TNT cannon Spoke used, I calculated the amount of pieces using the timing of the observer clocks he was using, plus the number of dispensers. And with that single cannon, Spoke launched 3,715 TNT at bare minimum, for 3,715 life sentences, after using just so many weapons of mass destruction. You may notice some outliers in the other numbers though, so let's tackle those. Wembu has 45 death penalties, next to everyone else who have single digits only. This is due to the number of withers he summons, with episode 4 alone having 33 of them. Parrot actually has the highest fines by quite a bit, with a total of over $43 quadrillion, most of which came from Radoons. And like I said, there's no real world amount of money that can really put that into perspective, but I will try. All the money on Earth is worth $500 trillion, including liquid funds such as actual cash and coins, and checking accounts, but it also includes real estate like your house, your car. Really anything anyone owns anywhere in the world is $500 trillion. Parrot has 86 times that, and if you stacked $1 bills until you had 43 quadrillion of them, that stack would shoot past the moon. Except that's a lie. It wouldn't simply shoot past the moon. Oh no. It would go so much further, surpassing the distance from the Earth to Neptune. Our stack of $1 bills would reach over 2.9 billion miles. That is how much money Parrot owes for his crimes, mostly repaying his theft charges. You may have also noticed that Flame actually has more years than Parrot, but with Parrot having more life sentences, more death penalties, and over 40,000 times the fines, I would consider his overall sentence to outweigh Flame's. There you have it. Every single crime in the Unstable universe. I put a lot of effort into this video and I didn't have nearly enough time to cover everything, so I left a link to the document explaining everything in detail if there was something you wanted to see that I didn't cover here, and with that, we can see that, as much as I hate to say it, Ash and Jamato were right.
One day, you're gonna look around, and you're gonna see you've made a mafia of your own.
I am protecting the server. I'm not protecting the server from Ashwag. I'm not protecting it from the Mafia. I'm protecting it from you. Because you never change. You pretend to have morals, then take advantage of those that you deem friends. You pretend that you're protecting us, but that family that you say you protect has been living in fear for the past year. Fear of you.